I think we're missing the point if we don't pay attention to the fact that God views these two ways as the two only ways that there are in all of humanity. And that's the big deal on the day of judgment. That is how God will judge. And I don't say that because I know something you don't know. I say that because that's what his word says. The word tells us that he will judge this way. Okay, let's go to 7 and 8. We have here the contrast between the righteous and the wicked in judgment. And this is actually when they are judged. And let us note, he begins that when the wicked man dies, his expectation will perish. The word expectation is what we would think it would be. It's the things that he hoped for. And we all have expectations. We all have desires. We all have things that we long for and want. And these are not all evil in and of themselves. But we notice that the wicked here, his expectation doesn't have an eternal footing under it. Now, what happens when something doesn't have a footing under it? It crumbles. It collapses. Yes. And so his hope is based on something that's going to go away. And because his hope is based on something that's going to go away, it's going to absolutely disappoint him in the day of judgment.
Like my hope is built on nothing less than Jesus'
Blood.
blood and righteousness.
Amen. 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 And we see this played out in the end of the book. And so we're going to turn to Revelation 18, 14 to 18. Does somebody want to volunteer to read that? I want to give you a few more here. Okay, Caleb. Job 8, 11 to 15. Joe? And then, let's get those two. Revelation 18, 14 to 18.
Merchants of these wares who gained wealth from her will stand far off in fear of her torment, weeping and mourning aloud. Alas, alas, the great city was clothed in fine linen, in purple and scarlet, adorned with gold, with jewels and with pearls. For in a single hour all this wealth has been laid waste, and all shipmasters and seafaring men, sailors and all whose trade is on the sea, stood afar off, and cried out as they saw the smoke of her burning. What city was like the great city?
Go ahead and read through verse 20.
And they threw dust on their heads as they wept and mourned and crying out, Alas, alas, for the great city, where all who had ships at sea grew rich by her wealth. For in a single hour she has been laid waste. Rejoice over her, O heaven, and you saints and apostles and prophets, for God has given judgment for you against her.
Okay. So we understand this is the great day of judgment. This is when Christ returns and he's bringing all things into account. And what does it say here? If we were even to back up, we look at in verse 11, the merchants of the earth will weep and mourn over her, for no one buys their merchandise anymore. And it talks about all the merchandise that's there: gold, silver, scarlet, silk, purple, precious stones, wine, oil, cattle, sheep, wheat, chariots, bodies, and souls of men.